Okay, let's learn how to save our file because we've worked pretty hard on it. We're going to save it in two different ways. The first way we're going to save it is we are going to click up on this orange disk right here, and we're going to click that disk once, and it's going to ask us where do we want to save it. Now, if you're on a Mac, you're going to be presented with this screen right here. I would suggest you click this little down arrow right here, and it will open this entire thing up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name of this. It's called Untitled. I'm going to call it Mr. Pig. Okay. And I am going to save it to my desktop. So you can see we have quite a few options here. Make sure we're going to save it to our desktop. And you can see there's an option down here called New Folder. You don't have to use this yet, but I want you to be aware of it. Because we are going to be using that for the next thing we save. Okay, so just mrpig.vox, and that's the file type that this program uses. Make sure you're on your desktop, make sure you've named it. If you're on a Windows machine, it's a similar process. Click Save, and that is now saved to the desktop. I'm just going to minimize that, and I'm going to close that. And where is Mr. Pig? Here he is right here. Okay, there he is. Now, the second thing I'm going to do is make sure you have your Google Drive open because we're going to be saving everything into our Google Drive, and I'll talk about that in just a second. Okay, we're going to go back into our Magica Voxel, and way down on the bottom here, you can see it. There's a thing called Export. Please click on the little arrow on it, and you can see there's a lot of options to export. This is the file we're going to use when we want to bring it into our game. So we are going to use an OBJ file, which is an object file. Inside this file sits reference for our colors and materials and our colors and materials. So we're going to click on OBJ, make sure you click on that, and it's going to ask us again, where do you want to put this file? Now this file is a little bit different. You want to make sure you create a new folder for it, and I'll explain that in a second. So let's just call this folder, Mr. Pig, Mr.pig, create the folder. So now inside our oh, actually, I made a bit of a mistake here. I've actually put it inside. You can see I put it inside my export file. I don't want it there. I want it right on my desktop. So please make sure you click on your desktop. So I'll try that again. I will create a new folder. I will call it Mr. Pig, Mr.pig. There it is. Okay, so you can see there's my Mr. Pig folder right there. And now I want to make sure I've clicked on that folder, and then I'm just going to click Save. Now that has saved a bunch of files into a file folder, okay? And I'm just going to minimize this right now. And Mr. Pig file folder. So you can see I have mrpig.vox and I have Mr. Pig file folder. Okay, so if I click on Mr. Pig file folder, you can see there are 3 files inside of it. And these 3 files are the ones we're going to be using when we bring this into Unity. We are not going to be doing that yet, but we'll be doing that pretty soon. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag that VOX file inside that. You can see it sticks inside of it. Now I have all my files in one place. All right, I can close everything up. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Google Drive. I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit. Maybe I'll move this over here so it's easy to see. Real simple. Grab your file folder, bring it in, and I'm going to just move this down so I have a little more right there. Okay, I'm going to drag it in. I'm going to release. Oops, I'll try that one more time. And it should add. There it is. I think I've actually uploaded 2. Only need to upload 1. It will upload the Mr. Pig file. There we go. All done. Should be a big check mark next to it. And there's my Mr. Pig file inside my Google Drive. And now everything I use is safe and ready to go. Okay, so that is the process, and it's a bit long, but it will save you a ton of work in the future, and everything will be safe inside your files. Okay, thanks for watching, and we will be moving on to another character.